Well, got a little side story about donkey ball games. I don't know in this day and age whether anybody's seen or heard of a donkey ball game. I don't know if it was just a Midwestern thing. The games that I participated in were in Kansas and Colorado back in 1950s through the 60s. The first time I didn't get the distinction that the donkey ball game was not a ball game. It was a donkey exhibition. Obviously, somebody that had more donkeys than he knew what to do with and needed to make a living figured out, well, what if I trained these donkeys to put on a show and then use sports events as the background for the show? The first one that I was a part of, I had no idea what was going on. I was playing softball after I'd quit trying to be a college athlete and had quit the baseball team. Playing softball for University Place Christian Church in Enid, Oklahoma, and our manager, coach, player was Prof. Mason, Lyle Mason, great guy. And he told us, you know, we're going to play a donkey ball game. I don't remember what the money raising was for, but learned later that this was strictly a thing that the businessman that had the donkeys gave you a fee, and then you charged admission to people or took donations from people to raise money for some cause, using the ball game as the drawing card. Well, you got to hit the ball, but then after you hit it, you had to get on the donkey and go to first base, second base, third base, fourth base, and around the home to score. In the meantime, the guys out in the field had to be on their donkey, and when the ball was hit, they had to get to where the ball was. You know, if they were right in the right spot, they could drop right off and field it. Well, one guy gets up, it's very good. He hits a ball out there that's going to be a home run, obviously. That donkey, when he has hit the ball and he tries to get onto it, he can't get on the donkey. I don't remember if he ever got to first base. But there was quite a show put on because the big, strong hitter could not get on his donkey. The crowd loved it, of course. I don't remember any other details except that it was a very slow thing. I don't know how many innings we played, but not too many, because the guy running the donkeys, he knew how to time it so that I think he called the game after 3 or 4 innings. But the crowd had an hour, hour and a half of entertainment. Nobody got hurt. It was kind of fun. Well, my second one was where I was the superintendent, my first superintendency, and feeling very responsible for the fact that, hey, you are so lucky. Your first superintendency, and this community of Hartner has a brand new high school. I'm not sure if it was the first or the second year of its occupancy, but I mean, it was so new it smelled new. Well, this guy comes in, you know, he's the advanced man and wanting to book a donkey ball game in Hartner, Kansas. Donkeys inside? Yes, they won't damage anything. They will be shod with rubber hooves, and they won't poop inside. There'll be no problem at all. Guarantee it. What do you mean you guarantee it? The floor is damaged, or if the animals poop in your nice new gym, no fee. Well, you can't let it be a deal like that. Wasn't sure though yet, so I called the board chairman, and he said, it'll be all right. Well, the game started, and Don Lamb, our coach, much bigger, you know, not a big man, but a much stronger built man than me. He starts to get on his donkey to play, and he can't get on. I'm telling you, the crowd loved it. And Don's the kind of guy, hey, I can get on that donkey. So he made a real contest out of it and never did get on. Well, he'd get on, but then the donkey would get him off. If he didn't get him off bucking, he'd do it by sitting on his butt or leaning clear over on his head and rearing, or, you know, kicking his heels up. I mean, the crowd roared, and it seemed like they let it go forever. I don't suppose it was probably even 4 or 5 minutes, but it seemed like a long time, and I'll bet it seemed even longer to Coach Lamb. But at some point, though, that trainer, manager, whatever you'd call him, he walked out there and spoke to Don. I expect like, sorry about that or something. I don't know what he said. And as he did, he was patting the donkey on his tail end, up on his back. I'm sure now, when I look back on it, that there was, like they do with the animals in the rodeo, some sort of a bug or buzzer back there. If the man got on, it hurt. So you don't want them to get on, so that animal's really, really going to keep you off. Well, anyway, at the halftime, we did have some damage. As they were bringing the donkeys back in, they took them out for a break, and I suppose they pooped outside. I don't know what they did. Maybe gave them a drink of water. But they're bringing them in, and some local cowboy, he gets a hold of the rope of one of the donkeys, and they get into a pulling contest. He sets his heels, and as that donkey drug him, yeah, we got some damage on the floor, but was it their fault? Probably not. I think we did pay them their check. Well, the third game was at Evergreen, and faculty men from elementary, junior high, and senior high were the faculty team, and the business community provided the other team. And boy, someplace in that game, I got a pass that was way above my head, and but you know, it was to me, and if I had been on my own feet, I could have jumped up and got it. Well, I'm reaching up to get it, and evidently reached back. Or the donkey moved forward. I don't know. All I know is I'm trying to catch the ball, and suddenly I have hit on my back and falling backwards, and I hit on my back and head. Oh boy, it hurt my back. You know, right there on the floor, I decided you've gotten too old, too fat, and too out of shape. You'll never play in another donkey ball game. And I didn't. And I've never seen another donkey ball game since then. I don't know if they went out of business. The Pepto people decided they were bad guys. I have no idea. But a donkey ball game was a donkey show, and a heck of a show as far as entertaining the troops. Oh, and by the way, guess what that trainer said to me after the check had been handed to him there at Hartner? He said, you know, when I was unloading my donkeys, that coach came out and told me, we have a young superintendent and he thinks he's a cowboy. Don obviously knew how this whole thing worked. He said, give him the business. So he said, I just decided when I saw the two of you come in that night together that I'd give him the business. Boy, do I ever appreciate that guy. Don't suppose Don does. But thank you, Don, for setting it up where there was no accident made to give the weaker guy the real ride and a chance to be a real entertainment focus.